Hello and welcome, and this is Japan, and we're gonna have a kind of cool tier list. Dead by Daylight is definitely known for getting some licensed characters. They're about to have Lara Croft, and then they're gonna have Castlevania right after this. So here's a bunch of different stuff that different horror movie, different games that are horror. Where could we put them if like in this tier list? We have yes a full chapter. That means we would want the killer and the survivor. Yes, just a solo killer. Yes, just a solo survivor. I don't know enough about it because some of these things I have not watched enough to know, so I can kind of understand that like probably isn't. And no, I don't want it at all. So kind of simple. We're gonna go through here as fast as we can and go through this. So, Bloodborne, I think Bloodborne in general is like a really good game from everything that I've heard. I've only watched playthroughs. I don't have a PlayStation, so I've never played it. And the Soul-like games are very interesting. Like I really like the idea of the Soul games, but I'm just not good at them, so I never really play them. I'm gonna say I don't know enough to be like, hey, this is definitely something. It sounds like an interesting idea, but overall I don't think I could think of like a monster or something or just a solo survivor because I feel like he might be a little OP for a survivor. Next up, we got Alice in Borderland. I've only watched like half this season. I I'm gonna go with I don't know because I don't really want to go too crazy on it. Soma is a very horrifying game, but I don't think it fits necessarily. I mean, it's like I guess some of it is, but I can't think of anything particular like that would be like, let's do this. I think it's just kind of one of those games that on its own is already good. Haunting at Hill House, it's a pretty terrifying show, but it's just I don't think it would really fit. I mean, we have ghosts, but like they're not the ghosts that we would like particularly be like, oh yeah, that would work perfectly for this. Freaky, which is about a serial killer who swaps body with a teenager. Not really anything I could think of that would be super crazy because the survivor would be Vince Vaughn and the killer would be, and it's just a regular knife wielding person. So I don't think I would want that. The Purge, I could see as a solo killer. I mean, but again, it's just like they have no powers, and they would just be kind of a stabby. So I think I'd skip on it. Cosmetics, I'd be fine with. So maybe that. SCP Foundation, I think we could find a pretty solid killer in there. So I'll play yes. I mean, there's quite a bit in there that could be turned into it. Totally Killer, again, just kind of a human. Maybe the survivor, but even then, she's not a bad final girl, but I'm not really sure if I would put her up there. Maybe we'll see when we get the rest of this. Abigail, I haven't watched yet, unfortunately, for this. Little Nightmares, I don't know. I don't think I would think it'd be a great one. I guess like it's a good game, but I just don't see it being like a DVD license chapter. Smile, I think would be horrifying. I think in the mechanics of Dead by Daylight, I don't think it would really work out. So I'm gonna say no to that. Terrifier, yes, perfect. We're gonna have a solo killer though. You could honestly actually do a full chapter. I don't think our final girl, like we got a final girl in it, so that would work. Last of Us, I think we should definitely have a solo survivor. We should have both. I hope they don't do like the thing where they have like one and one, or like one character that can switch for both of them. Hopefully they'll have two different characters, which we've never had a two survivor no killer thing. I mean, you could do some type of zombie thing. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with that, but like with Nemesis and stuff like that, I feel like you would have to have some really interesting mechanics, but at the moment, there's nothing in it that I absolutely think would happen. Midsommar, definitely nothing on the killer side. You could definitely use the main girl as possibly a solo survivor. Not a big fan of the movie, but I don't see that. I don't see there's nothing wrong with just using the solo survivor. The Nun, yeah, solo killer would be pretty sick. I think there could be some mechanics that they use, and I'd be down for it. Phasmophobia, great horror game, but I don't like we've seen some of the ghosts. I'm trying to think how they would do it. I'm gonna go with no. It would be an interesting combination because like if they go with another game, I think that would be really cool. But I don't think that's gonna work. Like it's not gonna work out that well. The Babysitter, honestly, is not a great movie, but like it does fit, because they are like vampires and stuff. But do we want a killer like that? Um, I'm gonna go with maybe a solo killer. I'm not particularly wanting it, but I don't like if there could be worse properties to go after. Sinister. I think a solo killer would work pretty well with him. Like you know, I don't see anything. Well, like why not? Haven't played Evil Within. I'm gonna have to put that on that. Fear Street. Not particularly anything too crazy. Wednesday, that would be a very good solo survivor. Wednesday would be great, cosmetic wise. I feel like you got Sable in the game, so you really don't probably need that, but it'd still work. Insidious, the kind of iconicness of a Insidious, I don't think really translates to this. X is actually one where it's like the human and the killer, or like not human, the because she plays the young self and the old self, and then later on she plays. It's yeah. If you've seen the movie, it makes sense. Uh, I could see her as a solo survivor. I mean, it's like I could see both if they go Pearl and I don't know. I kind of like it. I know I've said like some of the solo killers not the greatest, but like be having like a killer that also looks like one of the survivors could be an interesting mechanic that uh could be interesting. Singleness, I haven't played. American Horror Story does have quite a few characters, but I don't think anything in particular that I'm like has to happen. Uh, so I'm gonna put no. I don't know why I put in don't know about. Never seen this movie. Till Dawn with the Wendigos could be a very interesting thing, and I'd have to say full chapter. There's enough survivors in there that you could probably pick one or two and have a pretty cool chapter with. Lethal Company. Solo Survivor wouldn't be bad in the suit and all that. I could see it. I don't think there would be anything too crazy, but having a combination would be pretty decent. Happy Death Day would be an interesting mechanic to the game. It feels like more of a mode than like an actual thing. So I'm gonna say no. Megan as a killer, absolutely. I don't think we really need um, her like the human inside of it. So yeah, we'll go solo killer, Megan. We gotta have emotes though. Dark Deception never played. Darkest Dungeon never played. Malignant. That thing is creepy as hell, but I don't really see it being like something I have to have in this game. Was it Danganronpa? I feel like some of the survivors could be pretty cool. Like some of the people that are trapped in there. I think that could be a pretty decent one. Um, I'll go full chapter. I feel like there could be enough psychological like manipulation and like maybe like hallucinations that like the survivors had that could do it. Dying Light, I don't know. I'm not really big into just having a zombie with to just have a zombie type thing. Like we have Nemesis that has little zombies, so I don't think we really need it. Uh Amnesia, don't. I've never played it. I have it, but I've never played it, so I'm gonna say don't know it of. Cocaine Bear, absolutely. As a solo killer, just having a bear that just like going ham on people, that sounds horrifying and awesome. I don't know how it would work with like vaulting and stuff like that. Maybe like they just have true speed, but they can't vault. I don't know. Uh, it could be interesting. You might be the killer. Never seen it. Five Nights at Freddy is what everybody's always called for. I think it needs to be a full chapter. I'm fine with it. I feel like it is definitely iconic enough to warrant that. So, absolutely, Barbarian. For the sake of not seeing that creature again, I'm gonna say no. I don't. I think that'd be kind of horrifying. Outlast. Yeah, I think like a full thing for Outlast would be really sick. He's kind of like superhuman strength, and they could probably do some stuff with like turning out lights, kind of similar to Dredge. So I think it would be a decent mechanic. Forest has some really cool abominations, but I don't think enough that I would want a chapter of it. We're gonna have to move down a little bit. Dead Island, again, don't really think too crazy with the zombies. Lollipop Chainsaw Solo Survivor, absolutely. That would be cool as hell. And you could do some really cool outfits for her. It follows. I mean, I guess there could be some mechanics. Like, I think there could possibly be a killer type thing. Like, maybe the killer's like some type of shade, and then, like, you connect to other people and then you spread it. But it's kind of still a stretch. Scream Queens, if you're really a fan of the show, I mean, you could definitely do some survivors out of it, even though like they're kind of a lot of them are good and bad, but you know, I still think it works. Laser Fear, haven't I mean I haven't played it, but I've seen it. Not enough to do this. Black Phone, I don't really see it as any being like a killer I'd really want to see in there. Mandy is a trip of a movie, but I mean we already got Nick Cage, so we definitely can't do the full thing. So I'm gonna say no because we already got Nick Cage. Lisa Frankenstein, I saw the kill count on it. I didn't get a chance to watch the movie yet. I don't think in particular. Again, zombies. I don't know. I just don't feel like we need a zombie thing unless it's like a whole different mechanic. Hellfest. Have not seen the Ritual. I saw the beginning of it, and it's just so jarring. Like the opening scene or like the opening like major like horror type scene. It's not even horror because it's just like kind of normal stuff happens. Kind of just scarred me, and I never watched that movie because of it. I don't know why, but I'm never gonna watch it because of that. So I'm gonna say I don't know enough. Enough. Train to Busan, great movie, but zombies. As above as below, again, I don't really know necessarily because they're kind of like what ghoulish type creatures, maybe ghostly. I don't know. There's quite a bit. Um, I'm gonna go with no. VHS is an interesting one because there's so many different little things that they could do. Um, I'm gonna go with no though. I just feel like it's not exactly what's needed. Poppy's Playtime, I think, would be a great solo killer one. I don't think we really need a survivor from that, but overall, I think solo killer would be pretty interesting. He's horrifying enough, you know, and they could do a lot of different cosmetics for him. Cry of Fear, not sure what that is. Cabin in the Woods is a great underrated movie. Don't really see how it would work here. I mean, I guess they have some survivors and stuff, but like, again, like Cabin in the Woods is almost like Dead by Daylight because it's like a stationary spot that has all these killers getting kind of summoned to it. So, or like you know, in the case like they bring them there. So I'm gonna go no. Probably be a mode that would be better, but again, um, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's like a really good movie, but like I mean Tucker and Dale could be survivors. I could see it. There's enough. It's enough cult classic movie that you could probably sell some skins. Fear and Hunger. I don't actually know what that is at all. Walking Dead. I feel like is definitely a solo survivor thing because there's a bunch. You know Rick and everything. It works perfect. Quiet Place. I definitely think would be a cool I don't know if I would want to go full chapter. Solo killer would be good. Just a whole like mechanic of like maybe the screen's blind and you only can hear like little feints of sound and stuff. I don't know. In a violent nature, it's a kind of like a Jason like character. I don't think we need that. I mean, we need Jason, but we don't need a character like that. I have not played the game all the way through, so I can't really be a judge. You're next. Great final girl. So obviously you got to put that in the solo. Survivor, Hereditary. I don't think there's a need for Hereditary in there. The Quarry. There's enough that I could say you could do a full chapter with. You got survivors, you got a killer, you know, werewolf type thing. The Babadook, that was kind of a hokey movie to me. I really didn't like it. I'm gonna put it in. I don't really want to see it. Late Night with the Devil, good premise for a movie, good everything like that. I don't really feel like the devil part is horrifying only because it was like in such a closed area. The hallucinations could possibly be something, but I'm gonna go with no. Thanksgiving with the killer pilgrim. Honestly, I'm gonna say it's really dumb, but like they could possibly do a solo killer. It's kind of stupid, but he's just kind of there. Us would be really horrifying, but I don't know how you put that in Dead by Daylight to make it horrifying. So I'm gonna say no. Ready or Not. Ready or Not's what the one I was thinking of, not Your Next. I can't remember Your Next. Ready or Not's the one that I was thinking as the perfect final girl. The Watchers have not seen it. The Boy, we already got Chucky, so I'm gonna say no on that. Conjuring, some of the ghosts in it are kind of scary, but like we don't see them ever, so no thank you. Nope would be I'm gonna go with Survivor. I feel like the main character in it and his sister wouldn't be bad. I don't think you could do the creature to a certain extent. That would be like some really crazy mechanics, but uh yeah, Solo Survivor I don't think would be bad. And Sabrina, Solo Survivor for sure. And that's what I think up here at the top. Any of those would be great properties to have. Mine's always been of like outside stuff, like for skins at least, would be like Scooby Doo. That's been my number one. Supernatural's high up there. Stuff like that, because I think that would be pretty cool. I did like the band skins that they did with Iron Maiden and Slipknot and stuff. I like Slipknot, but I don't really like Iron Maiden, so more band stuff would be also pretty cool. Like Avenged Sevenfold, Ghost. I could see some of those being pretty solid if they wanted to do that. But yeah, that's what I think. Tell me what I missed on some of these. Don't know if there's something that would have been better or, yeah. Till next time, bye guys.